Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the live episode of Daily Motivations for African American Success. Let me bring Brandon in here. I am trying to. All right. Good morning, Brandon. How is it going?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, beautiful butterfly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday to me. Thank
How
you,
you doing, sweetie?
Brandon.
How
I'm
you doing?
doing good. You see what I got on, right?
I see that butterfly on you.
You want to tell the good people about this? This was a gift from Sella, my daughter in love, and Brandon, my son. I had something else picked out, just regular, because I got to go out in the field today for work. So I had, something. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna put my butterflies on today. And I was fixing my cup of coffee and I have two cups that I use, and I had the other one, and I was like, no, I'm gonna get my butterfly cup today. So I'm matching y'all. Look,
Look at you. Look at you.
yeah. Thanks to Keisha, Jimmy's daughter, Keisha.
Wow, look at that. Oh, you wearing your gifts.
Yeah.
Wearing
So
your gifts. But happy birthday, Mama. Like, God bless you. I appreciate you for everything that you've done. And it's great to wake up and do this with you every morning. And it's great to be your son. So just want to
well,
let you know that I'm grateful for you. I
thank
appreciate
you,
you.
thank you, thank you, thank
Birthday.
you.
What you about 26?
21, baby, 21.
Oh wow.
21.
I was trying to
Um,
at least let me be born.
but before I'm loving this, but I want to make sure. So I'm having some issues with your Instagram key. It's saying it's not a good one.
All right. Well, let me try to make it again.
Yeah, we don't, and I'll check the comments while you're doing that. We don't want the good Instagram folks over there to not get this food from the barbecue.
What's it? Day 91? Day
I
99?
not, y'all wait, hold on. It's the first, so it's 91, right? I don't know. Did I do that right? It's 91. Yeah,
It's
day
91.
91. Day 91.
All right. Let's see.
Day 91. Thank you, KL, for the birthday wish. Brenda Davis is out with us. Good morning, KL. Good morning, Brenda. And thank you as well. Thank you just for, again, for being here. It doesn't feel right when I don't see your name or you pop up out there saying something. So appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And you got to share some of those books. We got to really, really, um, I don't know. I feel like I need more time, y'all, in the day, but we got to really get together. And I want to see some of those books so I can start reading some of those. But thank you. So, Brandon, did you send me another one?
I did. I did. I just sent it to you. You should have it in your
So
email.
let's do this. There we go. All right. You can go ahead and do your thing, Brandon. Well, I'll
Okay.
tell you what. Let me try this again. That way they won't miss anything. Let me remove,
Yeah, I don't want my team to
remove.
miss.
Y'all, thank y'all for just giving us a minute. Yeah,
Yeah, welcome everybody. We appreciate
it
y'all
only
being
takes a
here
second.
on this May 1st, my
Drop
mother's
something in that
birthday.
comment for us.
Hmm?
Okay. All right. Now see if it works for you.
All right, let's see. It usually takes just a second. It says connecting, streaming to software, and boom, we are live. We are live. So in five, four,
All
three,
right.
two. There we go.
All right, y'all. Since it's my birthday, and I know I did this before, I got my muffin. I'm so hungry. I woke up late. So that's a good thing, though. I woke up at 6 o'clock.
Man,
And y'all, I'm usually up and dressed by then, coffee and a muffin. I was like, oh my gosh, it's 6 o'clock.
I woke up and fell back asleep. It was one of those days.
So yeah. So so y'all spare with me because I'm gonna be taking little bites for real. But it's my birthday, right? I get to do what I
It's,
want.
you do whatever you want to do on your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All
And
right.
welcome everybody to the end of season podcast. It is a special day with my mother, it being her birthday. That's her right there. If you didn't know, this is day 91. We have been going through and reading daily passages from Daily Motivations for African American Success. I don't know if I can see that with the little blur film on there. But Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. Remember, if you haven't been here, you don't have to be African American to participate. To come to the cookout, you know what we call it. This is like a social cookout, but you can invite someone. You can take a plate home. It's just that these stories are through the context, through the lens, and using people, distinguished African Americans from our African American history. So this is not to exclude. This is to magnify the voices of a people who have a very particular history here in America. But anyone can benefit from this. Anyone can find value in the humanity of encouragement, of affirmation, of inspiration. So please rock with us as much as you can and listen to these passages. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, and become wise enough to know when to say yes versus when to say no. And to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. A lifetime. Remember, one of the quotes from Dennis Kimbro is every thought which enters our mind, every word we utter, every deed we perform makes its impression on the innermost fiber of our being. All right, so let's make a good impression and start the morning off right with a happy birthday to my mother. I'm gonna keep saying that all day. I'm gonna just
Thank you, Brandon.
text you randomly. Happy birthday, mom. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're
Thank
born.
you. Thank
I
you.
ain't even drink coffee this morning. I'm already up. I'm still a little sleepy, but I'm drinking my tea.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not. Well, maybe I'm a little sleepy, but I'm more tired. Like I really, the last couple
yeah,
of days been really some good labor work with setting up at some retail, but I think it caught up with me like today, last night actually
mhm.
caught up with me. But it is what it is. I'll catch up.
I kind
I'll
of have
catch
like a
up.
little sore throat. I don't know. I think I'm fighting something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I felt like that earlier, but now I don't. I think
Mm,
it's just sometimes your fatigue will make you feel like that as well when you've kind of overdid it.
definitely
But
that for me.
before we get started, I want to share. Yesterday, you were talking about the king story in the back,
Hmm.
maybe king. So that was my takeaway yesterday. For some reason, it just kind of stuck with me in the way of I want to be so intentional that I'm not, and I think I'm pretty good in this. That to I don't want people because of their titles. I don't want people in my lives because of what they have and the titles they have. And so that really stuck with me yesterday, how so often we can get caught up in that world of things and people with things, right?
Hmm.
Someone, maybe it was Mike that sent me the poor. Mike, did you send me that text about the poorest? Um, Let me check here. I believe it was Mike, my brother. Um, the poorest person is not the one without money. It is the one without God, right? So I
Mm.
was in my thoughts yesterday, got that from him as well. And so I carried that with me. Um, and I was very in tuned, a little bit more in tuned yesterday. I had a very, oh gosh, what is it, y'all? I had a situation. I didn't have it. Someone else had a situation. And I tried not to the Tammy kept saying, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it was one of those moments where God said, no, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. And I turned around.
Mm.
And I found myself last night, and that could be why I felt so kind of out of it yesterday. But last night, and I hope this young man is listening, we exchanged numbers. And y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all to pray. Just I'm not gonna say his name, but pray for him. I felt the heaviness of his in his spirit. And he told me, he said, life is so hard. And he's 28 years old. And I kind of took myself back to my 20 something year old self. And I even told him, I said, I'll be 56 tomorrow. He said, well, happy birthday. So I hope he's listening, because God, young man, God kept you on my heart yesterday and last night. I prayed for you. I prayed for you. And I hope you listen to this. But I felt you. I heard him call as we was trying to make something happen for him. I heard him call on God. Right? I just heard him, like he just needs a lift. So I'm gonna ask y'all to just pray for the young man that Tammy had an encounter, the young man and his family, 28 years old, that I had an encounter with yesterday. I want y'all to send him love, blessings, and prayers. And that will be the best birthday ever for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hopefully one day he'll come on and we'll talk about yesterday's encounter. And I told him, I said, I passed by, and I tried to keep going, and God said, turn around, and that I did. So the police end up coming, and that was even a God moment.
Mm-hmm.
Police was very nice. He said, I just don't, I want to make sure y'all are safe. Da da da. So it was a very, and I was running late. So I thought.
Was he where was he?
61. Yeah, I was running late. I left. I was so behind yesterday because just things was happening, but I wasn't. I wasn't behind. I
Right on
was
time.
right on time. Right
Yeah.
on time. So y'all pray for this young man. I truly, truly just say, God, but the young man on Highway 61. So
Yeah,
that was you.
I know you, Mom, and that's definitely something that you would lose sleep over, you know, and even in the night, you're gonna be thinking about people, and may God bless you for your heart too, and for your ability to empathize with other people and the burdens that you carry for others. Sometimes may God alleviate those for you, and bless you in this life and in the hereafter, you know. So, well, hopefully I'll get to see you some more today. I expect to see you. And but for now, we're gonna get started on this book and get this day started right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Say yes in the comments. Say we ready. Say we
We
ready.
ready.
We
We
ready.
ready. We at the football
Hey,
game. We
I know.
ready.
Hey, you know that I don't know if
I
you
went to
guys have
see the
seen.
Memphis Showboat Saturday. Hmm?
Oh yeah, you're
I
breaking
saw
up a
the
little bit.
Memphis Showboats Place Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't
Okay.
know what day. Sunday
Okay. Was that Sunday?
or Saturday.
I think
Are we
no. That
breaking
was
up
Sunday.
still?
Yeah, that was Sunday. Yeah, just a little bit. Let's make sure that works good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
All
I
right.
don't know what to do other than pray about this too, because I've had AT&T out here, and we're supposed to be rocking and rolling. So I don't know.
It's all good. It's all good. Um, when you said we ready, it reminded me of high school. I don't know if y'all seen that Super Bowl commercial where the football teams in the locker room, they're like, we ready, and they're like beating and beatboxing. Oh y'all, yeah, yeah. So that was my high school and my high school football team in the locker room. That's something that the team would do to hype themselves up, and we would do it at pep rallies and stuff like that. So it was good to see
I
Ridge
like
Way
that. You could do
on the
that for
Super Bowl.
life. You
Yeah,
could do that when you get ready to go out for life. I'm
yeah,
ready, right? I'm ready for life. I
for
mean, for
life.
real, y'all. We got to talk
We
ourselves
ready.
through this thing. This thing is real. I'm telling y'all,
That,
we fighting battles.
that's what affirmations are, right? Like that's us being co-conspirators in the fate of our day, in the destiny
Mhm.
of our day. we're being co-conspirators because
Mhm.
God gives us the freedom of choice. You know,
Yeah.
something He doesn't give a lot of beings. So we gonna have a whole nother show,
Not really.
right?
Check
We
that
always on
title out.
time. Hmm.
Check that title out, Brandon.
Know that. That title is on May 1st. Word perfect. Word perfect. That's right. You read this. Now you're starting to read them, huh?
Yes, I read some. I know the title for sure, but I got halfway through this and said I'll get up and finish it in the morning because that's how exhausted I felt, and I didn't
Mm.
because I woke up late. So I'm halfway through it, but the title and the quote for sure is out there. I've started putting the quotes out there if they're not really long. But I got halfway through this one and enough to thought, oh, I can do this one because word perfect. It's gonna flip on y'all. So
Now
Miss
look at
Brenda
you.
may have
Kind
read
of,
it. Miss Brenda, do
look at
you read them before or after? Let
you
us know
telling us
that.
the story beforehand. Look at you. You can't help it.
Well, yeah, it's gonna flip. It always does.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
It's your birth.
what I was saying was, it's what we're talking about. Really, is this
Oh
today's
wow. So
passage?
okay. Okay. So before. Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Get off me now. It's my birthday. Let me say
I
what
was
it
about to say
is.
it's your birthday.
I'm
You
joking,
know,
Brandon.
you do
I'm joking.
whatever you want, sweetie.
I'm
It's your
joking.
birthday.
I
Y'all,
told you my birthdays are every day. Every day I get up, it's a birthday. I'm birthing to that next 2025. So
is that
like
is that why
tomorrow is
last
my
night you told
birthday
me don't?
again.
Is that why last night you told me tomorrow? Don't make nothing special for tomorrow.
Right,
Whatever you
because
said.
how do you make something special that's every day?
You know what though? You know what though?
What?
When you think about a friend of mine said happy birthday to you on Instagram. People are giving you happy birthday. So yeah,
Thank
y'all,
you.
it's
Thank
it's
you.
my mother's birthday. I appreciate y'all. Um,
Yeah.
hmm?
I woke up to more birthday wishes than I have ever in my life. Like I don't even, it's gonna
Oh,
take me and that's interesting to me too, you guys. It's like once you because there was a time where I wanted them for the wrong reasons. But when you're without sounding cocky, but when you're self-fulfilled, when you just are at peace with your life. And I believe that's why there's more. Like I'm not fighting the waves. I'm not fighting the streams like the two guys that were in there.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
letting life work itself out. But at the same time, I'm being intentional about my BS. I'm telling y'all, it's not them. It's not anybody else. It's not anything. It's you. And
Mm,
when you realize that, and when you stop fighting yourself, when you stop denying those things that you wish were not true about you, it will be difficult for people to disturb your peace. It will be
exactly.
difficult for things to disturb your peace. So when you see me, please know that you're seeing the work that God has done in me. And please, by no way, take what I say as, because sometimes people think you're arrogant. No, y'all, I just been through enough to know, and I've learned my lesson, as yesterday's message said. I've learned it, and I'm not going to fight me anymore. I'm not. I will talk to the me that's fighting me. It's like, we're not going there. Y'all can think that's crazy if you want. I'm not going there with you. That's the other Tammy. This new Tammy got a map, a goal, plans, and is moving toward that every day. So when you show up, the other Tammy, the traumatized, the unforgiving, the hurt, the broken shows up. Girl, you better come on. If you going with me, you better straighten up and come on. Cause I'm on another whole interstate highway. I'm going every day. I'm fighting you every day. So you better get in the gym with Brandon and his friends because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need your Wheaties. Because I'm not doing it. I'm just not, y'all. And so I'm at peace in my life. And I'm thankful. And I'm going to reply to everyone. And they were by text. And some people I thought I'd never hear from again.
And they remembered your B day.
Right, right. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I receive, and bless every one of you. Okay, Brandon, let me shut
There's
up.
a no, you're good. It's your birthday, baby. But when you said that last night, you were like, every day's a special day, or it's my birthday or whatever. You know what it made me think about? It made me think about.
Right.
I shared it a couple weeks ago, I think, on the show, how we say Allah or God is constantly creating you. You know,
Oh
every time,
yeah.
because your cells, they die and then produce cells, and I think every 7 years, every cell in your body is you're different. You're a complete different person.
Hmm.
Every single cell in your body has died and regenerated a clone basically of itself after a number of years. And so every single day, God is in every single moment recreating the next moment. So he just created this moment and just created this moment and just created this moment and everything in it. And if he stopped creating these moments, all everything would cease to exist. So I just it resonates, I'm always thinking anything you say, I'm looking deep into it. And when you said that, I was
Hmm.
like, well, she's right. You know, she's being reborn every single second. She's ceaselessly being reborn. So
Maybe heartbeat. Remember you talked
yeah,
about the heartbeat? That was a different day for me as well. Because how often, and I think I've lost sight of that I'm glad you rebirthed that one, because that was a beautiful day. Just really being in tune with that heartbeat, y'all. Touch your heart. It's beating. You're alive. You are alive no matter what's going on, no matter what you feel, what you're going through. Your heart is beating. You can hear it, feel it. Put your hand over it. It's y'all, like my brother said, it's a beautiful day. It's a great day to be alive. I'm so very thankful. He says, what a wonderful day to be alive. Um, KL asked, did anybody hear the birds chirping? Does anybody else? Did y'all hear birds chirping?
I think what it is I got chicks.
Well, they're here too.
Oh, they're there too.
I can hear, yeah. So I didn't hear your. I thought it was these out here outside. So I have
Oh,
a
I got
flock
when
of
you were
birds in a
talking,
nest.
my I think I got a rooster over here, a little baby rooster about this big. But
Yeah,
built this like a little wooden bird box thing. It's kind of like it looks like a dresser almost, but it has a bed for my baby chickens. And it's got a little window in it and
yeah,
everything. So they're getting bigger, but we got a they're about four. We've had them for 4 days, but they're about a week and something old. So they was telling you happy
yeah.
birthday. That's it. That's it.
Maybe that's it, y'all. And I know we're so late getting on this. I got to share this though, because this is a beautiful thing. I used to work with a lady, a young girl, because we were really young back then, and she had her first apartment by herself, and there was this bird that just hung out of her place, out on her balcony. Well, not for whatever reason, but this particular time, the bird was just chirping, 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 like on her glass door, right? Somebody was trying to break in her house. Y'all
Mm,
get that? Did y'all hear me on when I tell you nature, these animals, and I'm one that I used to didn't like animals. Like dogs, I was good with. Had a few of those as a young child, but I got to a point, I was just like, nah. And now the birds, when KL said that, like in Cordova, the birds were, I had a bird right in my bench that I could look outside where she was nesting and all the babies were there. The same here. And they come back every year. And I'm gotten to the point I put a pillow down because the babies will fall out and die if they hit the pavement, right?
oh
So
man.
got a pillow to put down. So that's what transformation will do. It will make you appreciate all life. All life. Why? Because you are closer to God and you realize whether I'm brown, blue, white, tan, that God created me. That God created me. And I deserve the same thing you deserve. Right?
Mm.
And so does God's animals.
You know what?
So
You reminded me. There is um a hadith that says that 1 hour of your contemplation in nature is better than 70 years of
mm,
worship.
mm,
That's a hadith that
I
one
believe that.
hour. 1 hour of contemplation about God and creation, um, like 1 hour of like a holy contemplation is worth more than 70 years of worship. That's you reminded me of that. So a lot of a lot of things that we say and you say there always is some reference to that. I'm
Hmm.
seeing and this, so that's interesting. But let's jump into this. I want to show y'all my chicks so bad. I love my little chicks. I was trying my best not to get attached, but I think it's happening now. I'll be telling my kids, don't touch them, don't touch them.
Shoot,
and
you might
then
as well tell Tupac to touch him because he's gonna touch him.
man, he's so
Yeah.
strong. His grip. We were doing the box and moving him over yesterday, and the chicks won't really let anybody else touch him but me. I think it's because I've been sleeping back here with them. They've been hearing my voice, like when I'm reciting my prayers and stuff like that, or staying
Mhm.
up reading or whatever. I think they've heard my voice. They're
They're
doing
so
this.
cute.
Oh
They're
yeah,
so cute.
yeah. But okay, I might show y'all the chicks later another time. But for now, it's Mama's birthday. It's about them butterflies. All right. So today's title is
What is that?
Word Perfect. Word Perfect. Um, and the one of the people that we read about that we mentioned in the back, Carl Rowan, is a syndicated columnist, said, "Words embolden. Words help us with future conquests. Words enlarge our spirit." Y'all hear this bird back here? I hear it.
We do hear him now. Yep,
You
KL
hear him
was
now?
right. Those are your birds.
I know exactly which one that is. I know exactly which one that is. But anyway, words embolden, Carl Rowan says. Words help us with future conquests. Words enlarge our spirit. And the passage goes, words unify and words break. Words heal and words destroy. Words bless us and words curse us. For example, the words I just heard will linger throughout the day. Words shape our lives. Those who have earned the world's respect and admiration for their outstanding accomplishments are always quick to point out how words of encouragement and inspiration help them throughout their career. We do not live in a vacuum, nor can we harvest the better fruits of life without help and encouragement from others. As members of society, our growth depends too large a degree on how well we handle our relationships with those who cross our paths every day. Without friendship and assistance, the successes we enjoy will be few. Friendships are best cultivated through kind words. Oh, this is for somebody in particular. Friendships are best cultivated through kind words. Why is it then that so many of us go out of our way to offend others with
Mm.
criticism that so often comes back to haunt us? Why is it, I'll say it again, why is it then that so many of us go out of our way to offend others with criticism that so often comes back to haunt us? Why do we allow our big mouths to dig ruts in our path so deep that our march forward comes to a halt? If you lose your temper, you'd better be off you'd be better off not to try to find it again.
Hmm.
If you lose your temper, you'd be better off not to try to find it again. If your tongue has been busy accumulating enemies for you, enemies who can impede your progress, now is a good time to watch what you say as well as how you say it.
Mm.
Blunt and harsh words, says former Oakland Tribune publisher Robert Maynard, said that blunt and harsh words often have the sharpest edge. Form the habit of offering encouragement and inspiration, and you will lift up your life in the process. And so the affirmation that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for my mother on her birthday, is I am always compensated for the words I speak.
Mm.
I am always compensated for the words I speak. And last time, I am always
He's
compensated
compensated for the
for the
words
words I
I
speak.
speak.
All right, so
Brandon,
over
you
to
know
you.
this one is like my language, right?
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
going because if I get started, I won't stop here.
No,
So,
you go ahead.
oh,
No, you go ahead.
no, I've said a lot today, and I'm pretty much there's nothing to say to this one. We've talked. This is something we've talked about since we started. The power of words, what we speak to
Right.
ourselves, and things like that. Y'all know my entire line of business outside of what I do for the world, I guess. Well, the other
Yeah.
thing I do is about communication, effective communication, effective. And this will be what I'll say, and I promise this is it. Between what is said but not meant and what is meant but not said, relationships are lost. And I'm going to say it one more time. Between what is said but not meant and what is meant but not said, relationships are lost. Your ego will make you say the things you don't want to say to try to protect you, right? But what you should say, like the little boy yesterday, he asked the question.
Mm,
Like Katsali, she asked the question, "What about me, Grandma?" When she felt some kind of way about me just helping her brother.
mm,
Word perfect. Speak your truth in love.
mm.
The truth sets us free. Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, thank you. I don't have much. I just remember that there was a Japanese researcher who claimed that human consciousness had an effect on the molecular structure of water. You know about that?
What? I don't even know what you just said.
Okay, the
Repeat
power. It's
that.
called the power of words. So listen, 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 listen. I'm about to go. I'm about to go real quick. Okay. So
The
no,
make
I got some.
KL's like, what?
Check this out. You're gonna let me see if I can find something to read on it really quick. Uh, so from his experiment, it can be seen that different words and their intention have different effects on the structure of water crystals. So with words such as thank you, love, compassion, truth, peace, gratitude, humility, when he would put those words, um, I think it was on like these jars, right? Uh, and then he would freeze them. It would create these beautiful crystals, these beautiful crystal structures within the ice. And the unkind words, words of hate and things like that, they created these distorted, non-symmetrical, dysfunctional crystal structures. And so if words can do this to water, and you think about it, are 70 to 80% water.
Mm.
Imagine what words can do to us with the majority of our body being water. So, and he actually authored two children books. One was called The Secret of Water for the Children of the World, and the other was called The Message from Water. So I just wanted to, you reminded me of that study. And if you guys need a reference or would like to see that study, I'd love to share it. But it's not one that's talked about on mainstream media. Why? We know why, right? Powerful people who understand their own power, people who understand the power of their words, the power of their nia, or their intention, uh, aren't people that are easily controlled, aren't people that are easily confined, aren't people that are easily pacified into complicity for the ill that they see. So with that, like, we have to become better forms of ourselves, and we have to speak to ourselves better. I think first and foremost, I think a lot of hate that people send outward is because um, they're trying to present the world in the way that they feel inside. People, you always hear, be the change you want to see in the world, right? You hear that quote, or you hear the quote from the Quran that says that God will not change the condition of a people until they first change that which is within themselves, right? So how do you change that? And if you think about it, words are a very interesting thing to me, because it's words uh, are a miracle to human beings. You guys understand that? Think about
Mm.
all the rest of creation that we know of, right? And yeah, they beep and chirp and things like that, and they have a level of language. But can we say that they have words, right? Words. I mean, literally, like, look at the how. So, for example, I was telling you guys a couple months ago that the Arabic language has 12.5 million words. 12.5 million words. English has about 170,000 words. So the distance between how we express ourselves is dynamic in different forms and things like that. But the closest thing that we have is like dolphins and things like that that have certain clicks and sounds to where they can communicate. But there is nothing on earth that has words like us. There's a verse in the Quran that says that Allah, the one who taught by the pen, right? Who basically gave mankind the ability to read and to write and to send messages and to to uh, to relay their inspirations, right? And aspirations. So know that every time you speak, it's a miracle. The fact that I can communicate what's going on in my head to you specifically, right? Down to a definition is very interesting. And remember the same I shared the other story with you about uh, the angels that said, are you going to create another, are you going to make another creation that's going to spread bloodshed in the land? And God said, I know what you do not. And he asked the animals, okay, name all these other creation that are around, meaning the beasts and the fowls and other parts of the creation of the earth. And the angel said, we only know that which you tell us. And then he asked Adam, name these things. And Adam had given definition and had named each animal. There's similar things in the Bible that it says that uh, God has given man dominion over the earth and taught him the names of all the animals and things like that, right? So like words are powerful. Words were a gift to us from God, and it's another thing like your heartbeat that you can take for granted. But I read a book, it's back there called The Power of Silence, right? There's power in silence. Why is there power in silence? Because we're so used to hearing everybody do this, just talking, talking, talking. There's no weight to the words. There's no weight to the words. Notice that when you slow down, when you become more intentional, when you make your words mean something, when you, again, take your time with expression, the words become heavier. People listen harder, right? There's different things that you can do with words. It's not just what you say, but it's how you say it, right? Like if I say something so simple as um, I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar, right? I can put emphasis on different words within that sentence, and it means something completely different, right? Like let's take it in each word, right? I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar. That denotes that it was probably somebody else. I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar. Now that's me like, hey, I didn't do it. Like I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar. I might have touched them. I might have, take, whatever. So you can put, well, I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar, but I took the jar. So it could be anything that you put an emphasis on. Any word that you put an emphasis on changes the meaning. And so, what some people do that I've seen as a manipulation tactic is they will say the truth, but say it in a way. They say the words that they say are the truth, but the way that they said it is a lie. The words
Because it
that they
takes away from the meaning, Brandon. Like, so use thank you if you don't mind. So I want to make sure. So in saying, you could say thank you in a very, so thank you is a good, like that should mean something good, right?
Mhm.
So the way they say it, they'll make that a lie. That phrase a lie. Is that what you're
Right,
saying?
right. So, for
Okay.
example, like there's a way to omit the truth.
Okay.
So So Petey said something to me, and it messed me up. I ain't gonna lie to you. He said at the table with the what we call it the round table with the guys, right? With his guys, and he said somebody said something to him. They were just joking on him, and he said, "I'm gonna tell all y'all something. Even when I'm lying, I'm telling the truth." And I was like, I was I was like, even when you're lying, you're telling the truth. What is? And I mean, yeah, for some reason, I just kept thinking about that. And so I went through all these different ways that people could tell the truth, or could be lying and still tell the truth. And I mean, I went down a wormhole from the media to people, friends, and acquaintances.
Mm.
But there's a certain way that you can say something, and you're not passing on the true intention. So even if you say thank you, you can be like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a stanky thank you. That's not like a stanky thank you. That's not a genuine thank you. So you've just said something that was appropriate, but the intention was inappropriate, possibly, depending on the situation, right? So words have meaning, but also intentions have more meaning than even the words.
Oh.
And I learned something very particular. People don't care. I learned this from actually, mom. I learned this from Sheikh Yasser Fazika,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 or 3 years ago, studying with him, and he said people don't care what you know until they know that you care, or they know how much you care. Right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So even if you do, let's say that your intentions are weak, right, and you're self-serving, even for your success in serving yourself, you're going to need someone else. So it's in your best interest to be merciful with your words, because if you're not merciful with your words, when you do need to be forceful with your words, they will not have the weight that you need to carry. When somebody's just always griping and yelling and complaining and downing other people, when something's really wrong, and there's really a wolf, they've been crying wolf all this time, there's really a big bad wolf about to blow their house down, no one really believes them, no one really cares. They're just like, oh, you're complaining again, okay, yeah, all right. We become I won't say neutral, but we become kind of desensitized to your ignorance, desensitized to the company that your misery compels, right?
Mm.
Right? Misery loves company. So we become desensitized to it. But on the flip side of that coin, when you encourage people, on the flip side of that coin, when you motivate people, when you inspire people, despite whatever their situation is, right? You can really not only change their life, but getting down to what the affirmation is, you change your life.
Yes.
You change your life. You have a better day when you don't talk BS.
Yeah.
You have a better life experience. You have a better quality of life when you don't go around making enemies with your tongue, throwing gas on the fires that are already blazing around the world, right? Now that doesn't mean to not speak the truth. There's a special reward for the person that speaks truth to power, people in positions of power.
Brandon, do
Right?
you believe that there's a timing in that as well?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
okay, okay,
yes, absolutely.
okay.
Like, I mean, the time to if you're at the funeral of a mother who just lost her son to gang violence, you don't go up and speak about her son while she's sitting there sobbing and saying, well, he was out there shooting, he was out there doing the crazy stuff, so this how you end up when you're out there doing the crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He dead now.
Mm-hmm.
He was a fool out there. All of that could be true. He should have had some life insurance. He out there in the streets and ain't even got a life insurance policy. No one tells me he gonna die for the street that he don't own. You don't say that type of stuff to a mother who's grieving,
Mm-hmm.
right? It doesn't matter what you know, and people don't. Here's the thing: there's a difference between being right and being righteous and self-righteous. There's a difference in being righteous and self-righteous. Because when you're righteous or trying to be righteous, that's your intention. The honor and the glory you're a conduit for it, and you're glorifying God. All of that glory is for God. When you're self-righteous, you do good things to glorify yourself. And we can feel that it's fake. We can feel it when it ain't real. We can feel it. The real among us, we know. You can't fake that. You can't fake the truth within. You can say whatever you want, but it just don't feel right. It's like, ugh. So there's a timing, there's a time and a place for words, and that's where wisdom comes in. That's where discernment comes in. And sometimes children don't have that exactly. Sometimes children are spot on perfect with their bluntness, and other times children are like, you I thought about a time when I was a kid. I've thought about a couple just now, but I ain't gonna put our family out like that. But times where I done told people about themselves as a kid and I had no intention of hurting their feelings, right? But it's
Brandon,
because
can I say something real quick in
yeah.
honor of grandma who we were talking about the other day? I remember you had said something that I thought, and I don't remember what it was. It's just that I thought it was disrespectful. And I remember her telling me, because one of the things I wanted to do with you, because as a child, I always have felt like a child. I didn't have a voice. And that's why I was so
Mm,
intentional about making sure that you knew you had a voice and an opinion. And
mm,
just because you were a child, it didn't mean that I could not listen and learn from you. But my grandmother told me, because I was going to spank you, and she said, "No, you
you
will
was gonna
not."
spank me,
Yes,
sweet old
yes,
me?
you
No, I
got
can't.
them. You got a few good ones.
I'm just playing. I know.
But she said, "No, you cannot. You cannot teach him to speak his mind and then spank him when he does. He's a child. He's going to speak his mind the way that he doesn't know how to form it yet, right?"
Mm.
And so, and I remembered that. And you were little, you were young and little, but I felt it was disrespectful. And I don't know if she did or not, but she looked at the big picture of it. Like, you were teaching him, you want him to speak his mind, then you have to be willing to get those words. And Brandon would be at the point where I remember him telling me, "Well, you just have to spank me because I'm gonna say what I gotta say." And y'all, I don't know, maybe he was 5.
Yeah,
I'm like, and I remember you told Red, "Well, you can make my mouth
and
shut up, but you can't make my mind stop talking."
I remember that one.
So I'm like, and I didn't hear that one, but his grandma did, and to this day she laughs at that one. She laughs so hard, y'all. She almost lost her life. She said she still laughs when she hears it. She said, "Well, you can make my mouth stop, but you can't make my mind stop." It's like, that's a Frederick Douglass movement right there.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm thinking.
So,
But
but I cut you off. I'm sorry.
no, no, I'm actually wrapping up there with that. I think that's just about enough. You can really perfect your words, right? But there's an old adage, and everyone knows this, that if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all, right?
Right.
It's better for you to be silent.
I know I
So
said I
today,
wasn't going to do a lot of talking, but I do have something else from what you
yeah.
said. Um, Particularly the one where you said people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Hmm.
Let's flip that. Let's always be intentional about showing people how much we care rather than how much we know. And you can do that with less words. You
Hmm.
can show people how much you care with less words, with action, right? You could say so much of what we need to say can be not watered down, could be less words. We could say it in less words. We overtalk, we overthink, right? So let's start being intentional about just showing people how much we care.
Mom, you
Because
know what?
the lady, I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead. Finish. I have a story for you after this. A quick
The
one.
the lady that you well, the example you gave about if a mother has lost her son, out gang banging, what could we say to her? What can I do to help you heal? What can I do to help you get through this? That's all. Because there's nothing. That's all. What do you need from me, and how do you need it? And I'm always here. I'm a call away. But think
Right.
about how we will over editorialize
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's most of the time for us. How much I know, to the point where they miss how much you care because you talked all about you, what you know about this situation. So that was one of them. And then, y'all, everything doesn't need a response. Even
Mm.
when you see someone in their moments, everything does not need a response. Sometimes your response can be, God help them through this. If somebody's flipping out on you, tripping out, doing you wrong for no reason, you know what? Not my business. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna put it down. But I pray for you in silence while they're
Mm-hmm.
acting a fool. And then
Mm-hmm.
something else. How often do we the words "thank you," um, "please" in your household? Do you use these words in your household? Thank you. Would you please do this? Can I get your help with this? Think about the words we use in our homes with the people we
Love.
love versus the words we use when we're out with people we may not even know. You'll pass somebody in the grocery store, maybe bump into, excuse me. You'll go home and damn near knock your wife or your husband over and won't say anything.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying, word perfect. And word perfect is not just about um edifying the people out in the streets.
Mm.
It starts in your home. The people closest to you are your neighbors. We got it so twisted. We'll walk outside and say, "Good morning" to the neighbor. Hadn't even spoken to your wife or your husband or your children. And the
Mm.
walls that you're confined behind together. Word perfect. So monitor your words today, you guys. And it's noted here, and I think we've said this before, how many words people speak. I think I broke it down to a day, but let me go back to that. Brandon, you were talking about Petey said, even when he's lying, he's telling the truth. So there is a Tony, this is a Tony Montana thing.
Okay, Tony.
So, he says that he said this means that he makes his own truth. I believe that the way I believe that the way disputing parties approach delay analysis is often remnants of this sentiment. So the meaning behind it is he makes his own truth. So even when he's lying, that came from him. I always tell the truth even when I'm lying.
Oh, he said that.
Yep.
That's funny.
So he makes his own truth. Isn't that the truth? We make our own truth. We make our own truth. We
So,
come into the situation, like you said, Brandon, with that day I dropped that my earring fell off like midway during the show. And we
uh huh.
talked about somebody's going to come on and think I came on the show that way. Well, I kind of lost it during the show. There's so much more to the story than when you got there. And I'm going to be real quick with this one. Think
No,
about
you can.
this. And I had this situation last week. I'm driving behind a car, a little SUV, and I'm fussing. Will you please get out of my way? Move, right? Well, there's someone in front of him that he's likely saying that same thing to, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because someone is in front of him. I'm behind him saying it. And guess what? Somebody is behind me blaming me for the entire thing. Because
Yeah.
that's all they can see. They see just my car. They can't see the car up there. And it's only until you go around and you're able to really see, you like, oh, well, that car was blocking that car. And that car was blocking that car. And it
Right.
just is a triggering effect. There's always somebody behind you while you're behind somebody judging them. There's somebody behind you doing the same. And truth be told, it ain't nobody's fault, right?
Right.
Because the person
Call
probably in
it
front
backfire.
is probably driving the speed limit. So it
Mm-hmm.
ain't even his fault. Y'all just in a hurry, late, want to speed, and now it's his fault. that
Yeah.
he's driving the speed limit. He left early and he's just going to enjoy the scene by doing the right thing while you want to rush, speed, and drive fast. So I'm going to shut up for real.
No, no, it's your birthday, baby. You say whatever you want to.
No, it's
I
it's
I thought
7:55 and I don't want Instagram to
right.
lose us
Well,
at
you know, we
8 o'clock.
started Instagram a little bit later, so we got about another 5-10 minutes. But anyway,
Oh, okay. Let's rock it out then.
you know what I'm saying? Um,
See
but
what I'm saying?
you talked about. I just thought
That's
thought of
African American talk. See what I'm saying?
you called me. But you talked. I think it's funny that you quoted Tony Montana. You know who Tony Montana is?
No. Who is?
Say
I probably
hello
will
to
when you
my
tell
say
me.
hello to my little friend,
Oh, my
Scarface.
Scarface guy.
Yeah,
That Scarface.
yeah. That's Tony. That's Al.
That's not.
Yeah.
Look, you had to say Scarface. I don't know Scarface's real name.
No, I mean, yeah, but you know that was Al Pacino playing Tony Montana. Tony Montana
Oh.
was the character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was funny. You were like Tony Montana said that because I was like, yeah, that sounds crazy. And you know what's interesting though? That's actually It reminded me that that's actually Alex Craley, the founder of Satanism. I think it is. Is it Alex Craley? Yeah, the founder of Satanism. That's their whole mantra is "Do as thou wilt." Create your own truth, basically.
Oh, okay.
So it's you have you
That's
have to be careful.
dangerous. That could be
It is.
dangerous though. And I
It
think
is.
the that comes back to us. And I think a lot of us do. I believe a lot of us do that. And the biggest lies you've heard us say here are the ones that you tell yourself and then believe. There's
Mm,
another thing called the people of the lie. And I read about that in The Road Less Traveled. Scott
mm,
Peck, I think is the author. I'm trying to see if I have it
mm,
over here. The Road Less Traveled, y'all, a good book if you've not read
mm,
it. And it talks about the people of the lie, where we know the truth, but we feel safer in accepting the lie as the truth. A dangerous place to be. A
mm.
dangerous place to be. So,
And you said something like about you reminded me about showing people how much you care first before you telling them how much
mhm.
you know. I actually had that experience recently because there's somebody uh, close to me and my in-laws actually that like we never really vibed, right? Like we never really meshed well, if that makes sense, right?
Mhm.
And or at least in the beginning we did, but it was like kind of weird, right? But but it was no love lost or anything like that. Like it was all good. But I just feel like we both kind of needed an olive branch in some way, right?
Mhm.
Some shape, form, or fashion. And I remember I was actually with you on Sunday when we were at we were setting up, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I said I have to go get something for someone. You remember that? And I went and I was looking
Yeah.
before I lost the
Yeah.
keys, and I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
get
yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
help
Okay.
him. Yeah, yeah. So that was one of the things I was doing. I was like, I'm showing this individual how much I care because I could depart knowledge upon them, like, oh, you have this situation, right? You could do this, and this, right? You just give them all your knowledge or whatever. But it's different when you put action behind it. You say, no, I care that you're hurting right now, that something's
Mhm.
going on with you. You know,
Okay.
your family. We're both, you know, African American men in this situation right here. Like there's a cultural context that we agree upon, that we share, and things like that, and we should be help to each other. You know what I mean? Like making
Mhm.
that connection, if you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And um, and I wanted to show him that I consider you family, brother. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
when my family is hurting, what do? I act, as best as I can. So I, even though he's an in-law, that he's my in-laws, significant other to me, I'm like your family. So let me treat you like I would family. And he just kept popping up in my head, dealing with his condition, right? And so I went and got something that I thought would alleviate it. And you know, when I took it over there to him, you should have saw the look on his face. You know, it was really like taken back. Like,
Mm.
wow, like you care enough to go get this and to bring it here and to do this. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to like, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back at all. I'm only saying this as a lesson for us all, because it was Yasser Fazaga's quote that he had taught me that um, benefited me in that moment, where I was like, no one, he's not gonna know. He's gonna give a damn
Mhm.
what I know,
Mhm.
or how much I know, until he knows how much I care. And so if
Right.
I give any advice now about that situation, about his condition or anything like that, he knows that I care. So it's more willing to, maybe those words, take more effect. So I just, this passage in this part of the book, um, sometimes it follows you and sometimes it comes before. And this is one where I feel like it followed me to the situation, or it's confirmation of that situation. And in all honesty, I feel so much better about that. Like I didn't even know that it was a thing, but I feel like I've created a good relationship, or I've laid the groundwork for a good relationship with someone. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
Someone who's another man in the family, who we could be resources and help um, more together. Because when the men are together and we're actually doing things, we can build. You know,
Mhm.
and I'll say this and I'll end. Women are the maintainers of culture. Women are the ones who really are the ones who pass on the education, who pass on the social norms from you to the next generation, right? From this generation to the next generation. If you think about it, it's always the big mamas of this. The men are kind of where they you learn through action, and many times with the men, they're out working, they're bearing the weight of the family to provide in the way that I see family, right? When men are together, they build civilization. It takes women to maintain civilization.
Mhm.
All these roads, all these buildings, all these bridges were built by men. But better believe that we maintain them so we can come see y'all. So we can be with y'all, right? And so I think when men are together in a family, they can build something. Because men, in my opinion, are the maintainers of women.
Mhm.
We're the ones, by maintain, I mean, we are the ones to set the foundation, the groundwork for women to flourish. And when women flourish, civilizations and societies are healthy. When women can express themselves, when women have the ability to not be guarded. Why would a woman be guarded, right? Because she's not protected, right? She's not supported. And by protected, I don't mean like somebody's there sitting trying to fight off fenders, but there's that aspect too. But I mean, she's cared for. She's nurtured. And not nurtured, but like she's provided for in a sense. She's given a place where she can flourish. And so I felt like in order to be better men, or in order to be better for our families, we needed to come together. And I feel so much better about it. So guys, go out there and do something for someone. And it's not always with words. Sometimes the perfect word is no word. And last thing, it's an action. And last thing, I don't know if you word perfect. It's the title said something in my head, right? You said it flipped, and I think the word perfect is actually perfect. Do you remember the program called Word Perfect?
That's yeah, yeah. That's right. When I first saw it, I was like, "We're perfect," and still
It was
haven't.
like
I've
created in the
not been.
70s or 80s or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. If not before, I don't know. And I still, I still haven't learned to what to expect out of the passages. Like by now, I thought I would have, and I should have on this one particularly because of the word, right?
Right, right.
And then in bolded, we didn't talk about that, but it just to be in bold means brave, confident, strong, right?
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
encouragement to. Those are the things that I'm reading here. That when I googled in bolden meaning. And imagine that for words, the words that you're speaking to people, help them feel brave, confident, strong. Don't beat the lady down who just lost her son, who tried and prayed for the son to come out of the streets. You may not know the story behind that. You
Mm,
don't know it. You don't know it. Because even when it looks like the story of Mary, that they've been touched by Satan, that they've been touched by him, you miss so much in looking at what it looks like, not knowing. Now think about if Mary would have been here in this day and time, the words that you would have spoke upon her.
Mm.
The mom who's pregnant, because I was one of those unwedded single moms, and look at my beautiful son. Look. The reason I decided that I wouldn't take my own life was because I didn't feel he deserved it. So even God, when he allowed me to be impregnated without a husband, right? That he knew that there would come a day that only he would be enough for me. And God was not offended by that. Why do I
Mm.
know that? Because look what he allowed me to become. Because he knew what I would need on that very day.
Mm.
So this is good because y'all, this morning, I'm shut up for real. This
Oh
morning,
yeah,
as
my
I was
Instagram went off.
brushing, I know, getting dressed, I thought about something that I had said about someone not long ago, and I heard God tell me, you got to take your mouth off of people.
Mm. Mm.
Because it's easy to try to tell you what somebody should do, da da da. They should be doing this. I don't know what you should be doing. Sometimes I don't know what I should be doing. I'm just hoping God will speak to me and I hear and we'll get through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take y'all help for those of you who I do talk to, help me be accountable. If I start to say something about someone, say if I don't say it to me. So okay, bye, Brandon.
Are we ready? I was reading through all these
We've
comments
lost
that
Instagram.
yeah, I was reading through all the comments. We had a lot of people come through. We had Marty McFly, we had Will, we had my friend Air Hobby, AD, um, Vanessa Only. We had Banks Carpet Cleaning come through. We had one of my friends, one of my fight buddies, AJ the Savage, is a fighter in the UFC that trains with me. He came through, so I
We got to
appreciate
tell
all
them when
y'all.
it cuts off, if they're on Facebook, to come over here and catch us, keep up with us. Then we'll tell them that as soon as it
Okay,
cuts off there to come over, if they're on Facebook or YouTube, they can still go
yeah,
over to YouTube.
yeah, I'll make
Okay.
sure to try to relay that more. But y'all, we gonna end this show right now because I know y'all got some stuff to do today, and we do too. So y'all go out there and perfect your words. Make sure that the people that that you care about, make sure they know how much you care. Right? Make sure you express it because they're not gonna care how much you know until they know how much you care. And be an encouraging word to somebody today,
And
and
take
make
care of the people who show you how much they care. Make
exactly.
sure I mean, take care. We miss out on that a lot. We kind of overlook the people that really show up for us and are there. Take care of the people that
Yeah,
show you how much they care. Even
yeah,
if it's just thank you, I love you.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
I
you
can
for,
do better at
so,
myself. Yeah.
right. Check
Um,
on them. Check on them.
yeah, I got a couple people. I got grandmas to call. I got all kind of people to call. But today's title was Word Perfect. And Carl Rowans, the syndicated columnist, said, words embolden. Words help us with future conquests. Words enlarge our spirit. And the affirmation that we read 3 times, I'm gonna say all 3 of them are from my mother today. Y'all can have one of them. 2 of them are for my mother. One for my mother, one for my mother, and one for you and the
I
person that
receive.
sent it to. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank
But
you.
the affirmation is, I am always compensated for the words I speak. And my chick back here agrees. I don't know if y'all can hear. I am always compensated for the words I speak. Let that settle in. And last time, you can say it out loud or internally. I am always compensated for the words I speak. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, you're going to be negatively compensated or positively compensated. But it always comes back to who it's all about. All right. So have a great day. We'll be here tomorrow, 7 a.m., same time, same place, 7 a.m. Central. I know we had some people from California. I know it's 5 a.m. back there, so I appreciate y'all rocking with us from Cali or from Denver, like my boy AJ. Thank y'all for waking up early and being with us on this very special day for me and my family and celebrating the 21st birthday of my mother. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day today. Enjoy yourself and perfect your words. Love y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all. Thanks for the birthday wishes.